Here we go. Lights are off. And each individual one will be turning on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights. And it's go, go, go here in Silverstone. And there's already some cars going into turn 1 side by side. 3 wide by the Mercedes, the McLaren and the Haas. But the McLaren goes first. The Alfa Romeo of Andy Park trying to move into P3, and he does manage. So there's a car off. That's, I believe, Alex Mobs off into the grass there and loses out a lot of time. There's a Renault of Gibbs as well. It goes into the lead for turn after turn 1. Sára Mühlfeitová losing a bit of spots as well. Following side by side with the Alpha Tauri there. Nicely done to get the position back. Jiglov not making it easy for her. Up in front, the McLaren goes a bit defensive towards Cobbs and the Ferrari and the Mercedes. And oh dear, there's so many cars going off the track limits. The car stop, the driver's probably not being used with so much fuel in the car, and side by side nearly makes Mühlfeitová with Race Spider. But she brings it back behind onto the medium compound, the C2. While the front drives on the C3, I believe the C2 compound being the hard carbon of tires. Well, the C4 being the softs. Will we see today's softs appearance? Maybe, maybe not, depending on what the driver's preferences are. But Mühlfeitová does lead. So here we see them going through Beckett's there on the bottom of the camera. So they are the closest cars on track. So will the Haas gonna have an opportunity? Esteemed and Park go side by side. Oh dear! Contact a little bit. They have touched slightly out of Stowe there. And now through Yale, the McLaren on the inside. And the Park tries it around the outside. And does he keep the grip? He does. And gets a position on the outside of Clubs. Incredible. Goes for the inside. Goes for the wide. That is outside track limits. The McLaren tries for the inside. Out the outside. Late on the brakes is the McLaren. But it's going to try to switch back opportunity. The Mercedes behind catches as well. And now we're going up towards the straight, the Hangar Straight, the Wellington Straight, pardon me. Will the McLaren have a little bit, there's a bit of wobbling in the back. Sára as well might have an opportunity there, but both FTS. Sára goes for the inside, sticking her nose in, side by side through Bruxelles and now through Love Field as she gets a position up into P3. Increases the gap by a little bit while Sára is still on the rear end of that McLaren, but the McLaren makes a huge mistake. Rear goes away, but managed to rejoin. But those tires are practically square now. And now it's the Alfa Romeo 1-2. Under the pressure, the McLaren didn't manage to bring it together. And now they have to look behind. Diego Beda right there, looking for their podium opportunity. They're right on each other. And this could be an opportunity towards Cobbs. Will they do it side by side? Yes, they will! The Ferrari on the inside. Will he manage to do it? No contact. Clean from them. Still side by side, but now the Ferrari backs out for Megas and Beckers. This is not a part of the track where you do want to go side by side. And losing out a little bit. Now Gibbs is in the battle as well, making this a freeway fight for P6. And the Haas runs away a little bit to just gain a little bit of time, but goes wide. Off he goes. The Ferrari goes in front. The Renault has a chance for the outside, so the Haas is his position. Back he goes into P6. The Renault now with the chance towards Brooklands. Will he have a look on the inside? He does, but backs out. Goes a bit wider to have a better exit, probably out of the left field corner. Loses a bit of view and just the Haas. Contact! And sideways goes the Haas. And Gibbs gets a position, but that will be frowned upon by the stewards. That will be have a look then. As the McLaren gains on the inside. Incredible. Aggressive on the brakes. They're side by side through the field. Who is going to have the better traction? The Alfa Romeo on the inside might have a little bit more, but loses a bit on the exit. So it's the McLaren run on the rear end. Will we see it the second time? Its cars going side by side through Cobbs. Gaining the ES, a little bit of a lag spike from Andy Park, so making Esteemed go twitching on the outside and lifting a little bit through the corner. But that is incredible. I see we see the opportunity now. Isman stop on the outside of turns 3. Now towards turns 4. Isman has a bit of an awkward line. Andy Park could have a good shot onto the Wellington straight. Yes, open now from the Alfa Romeo. And he's the battery in the back. There was also an overtake side by side and towards Brooklyn's. The Alfa Romeo goes very deep. And side by side through the field now. And we saw the inside line is open, but the Alfa Romeo slides into the McLaren. A bit of contact through there. Doesn't upset none of the cars, but that increases a bit of drag damage. But Isran Stopper is not done yet. Goes for the inside through Cops. Oh, dear. The McLaren slows down lots to give the room for the Alfa Romeo. And he gets this time in the pit lane, not having lost it there. But onto the hanger straight. The DS onto the Haas. Onto the inside he goes towards Stowe and gets a position before the corner starts. Will the Red Bull be able to retaliate? Doesn't seem so far. Flashing off the lights behind, meaning that the battery is charging. Now through Vale. The Haas did a good move, but goes a bit wide out of Vale towards club. And that's a good time gain for the Red Bull behind. And that is, we see the difference in speed while the battery is drained. Also up ahead, Andy Park is still 3 tenths behind the McLaren, but now it's cold tires. Andy Park side by side through Brooklands. Goes for it now, doesn't go deep this time, not leaving any space for the McLaren. Behind, Stopper needs to follow through and goes just behind, loses about 4 tenths through the field with the dirtier and cold compound of tires. There's still so much time to go, which isn't a lot, as Mercedes seems to have lots of pace right on the rear end towards Cops. Mercedes and Red Bull through Cops. That gives some moments, some flashbacks, as I believe you're starting to see some sparks going in. I believe there was rain on the curbs, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully not yet. The track temps still are up. The Red Bull goes defensive for the outside, not defensive on the second part of the straight. The Mercedes goes for the inside and gets a position down on Stowe. Will the Red Bull be able to retaliate? Not quite. Sebastian Krogh picks up his pace. He knows he is one of the fastest drivers out there. Knows he can bring it together. And after that side mistake he's done before and losing him that 4-way battle between him, Sára, Park and Stopper. Once again, Isman Stopper in the wall. Isman Stopper's off in Cops. Careful to rejoin. Manages to rejoin just behind the Red Bull, but that's big damage on that car. I saw no front end, so Krogh is now fighting for the podium position. Well, Isman Stopper mistake cost him a good position, and he might lose more. He might have to go for a pit stop. Another mistake. Isman Stopper disconnects and is disqualified. As that happens, Mercedes goes to the inside of Stowe and gets a position into P3. A carbon copy of what he's done last lap on the Red Bull. And now he's up into the podium position. Ollie Mobs goes into the pit lane for a second round of pit stop. That's his first? That's the second pit stop. Then on the outside, the Ferrari trying its hardest to get the position on Ollie Mobs, not quite. The medium compound of tires still need to get a little temperature out of the pit lane. But will the Ferrari have a chance? No, he slows down. He had a big slowdown moment, I believe, to not get a cut warning. That is the one thing that comes to mind now. But that gives a good chance for the Haas behind to have a look on the Ferrari. 4 tenths. And I believe the Ferrari had a little bit of a scramble with the Red Bull after looking ahead. Now he has to look behind. Through Cops we go. Following is the Haas of Fenger, but goes wide. He takes the cut warning. Looks to me he still has some left to spare. But now through Megas and Beckes we go. Taking a bit of an alternative line is the Haas to just avoid it as much dirty as possible. And now onto the hanger, not hanger straight. That is the hanger straight. Pardon me. The Ferrari tries to have a look on the inside to defend the inside while the Haas goes for the outside. Nicely done, getting the position done before the corner even starts with the DS. Nice and strong. That just shows the power, how much DS can help for an overtake. He goes through the Beckett and Beckett's final lap has started. Sára goes into the lead. Annie Park gives it to her. Some team play happening here. Who is going for the fastest lap? And now the fight is on into the final lap. This is basically a qualifying scenario here. Sára could take it, Krogh could take it, or out of complete shock, the Haas of Lamberson could take it. There we go, Sebastian Krogh, 1:27.1, completes his fastest lap. But eyes on Sára. Purple sector 1 goes through towards Cops. This is basically flat through here with those compounds. And will she do the unthinkable? Sebastian Krogh improves on his lap but does not go purple. The sector 2 line is just after Beckett's. Let's see where Sára is. She has been on a flying dominant this race. Green sector 2, not quite the fastest. But now towards Stowe, the Alfa Romeo heading for the win. But will she also go for the fastest lap? Towards Vale, final time, takes us corners beautifully. And now through Club for the final time at the final corner. Sára Mühlfeitová wins the Silverstone Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. It takes the fastest lap, 1:26.9. Incredible.